right, y'all. So big shout out to those who do the work. Every day is a new opportunity to encapsulate the wealth. Yeah, but we got to talk about how to stay focused, how to stay consistent, how to actually be consistent and yield results in the fitness journey when we got a whole bunch of externalities, right? Some of those externalities would be not having the free time to travel the hour and a half to 2 hours back and forth from the gym, right? Or maybe there's not even a gym close by to you that fits your schedule, right? Maybe the gym's too crowded for you to even train at, so you just don't even go, you're discouraged, right? For the people who want to train at home but don't have the budget or the space to put together a home gym. The solution around all of that, right, is body weight training. Have a minimalist approach where we don't need all kinds of equipment. No dumbbells, no kettlebells, no cable machines, all of that kind of stuff. Just need a body, right? And for the most part, you can train every single muscle group just using body weight training. But unfortunately, there are some gaps where there are certain muscle groups that are very difficult to target effectively without any equipment. So I'm going to provide some techniques, some exercises, some strategies that you can use to work around those gaps so that no obstacle stands in your way. Now, we know about the basics, right? If you want to build your chest, if you want to build your shoulders and your triceps, you're doing exercises like push-ups. Maybe you're doing handstands or even handstand push-ups. If you want to develop your quadriceps, your glutes, maybe your hamstrings a little bit, you're doing things like squats, you're doing lunges, you're doing split squats, things of that nature, right? If you just want to target your glutes, right? You want to build your booty cheeks. You're doing things like hip bridges and donkey kicks, things of this nature. And then of course, right, you want to have the six pack, you want to have the abs, defined abs. So you're going to be doing leg raises and planks and things of that nature. This is basic stuff that we know. But the gaps and things that we got to deal with are pulling exercises, right? What do we do about biceps? What do we do about upper back, mid back, lower back, right? Hamstrings. What do we do about movement patterns like rows and hip hinges? Basic things, right? Because the truth of the fact of the matter is that it's easy to be imbalanced to the point where we don't know how to hinge at the hip. So we just round out at the back, right? We don't know how to row, but we're really good at doing push-ups. So we develop this posture like this here. And so basically what we need to do is develop some techniques to be able to balance things out. Now, real simple, and anybody can do this, you can get a set of resistance bands, just like 4 resistance bands. But in particular, to work on these pulling exercises, you would mainly just need 2 resistance bands. So check this out. Here, right, I got 2 resistance bands. Now this is the most resistant band that I have, and this is the second most resistant one. So I got a quick set of resistance bands, just 4 of them, and in particular I just use these 2. Now I'm going to start with this thick one, because this one is going to be the one that personally I use to work on hip hinging and developing a solid hip hinge where we can go and use this kind of movement pattern to do deadlifts, okay? Where with this kind of band and this kind of exercise, we're developing hamstrings, glutes, and a lower back simultaneously. And with an exercise like that, the way we do it is doing something called a banded good morning. Now for the banded good morning, just a simple cues I want to give you guys is you want to make sure that you keep your back flat and your chest up and forward. So you want to think big chest, right? And tuck your chin. So we don't want to have this kind of posture here where we have that upper back rounding. So we want to get here, okay, real neutral. And once you lock in that position, you just want to focus on pushing your butt back, okay? You may have a habit to bend your knees to the point where your knees come forward. You want to really focus on initiating the movement from the hip and pushing your butt back, okay? So your shins should maintain a vertical position as you're doing this movement. Now, even if you have tight hamstrings, don't really worry about it, right? Because over time, as your hamstrings get stronger and you work on your mobility, you'll be able to push your butt further back while keeping a flat back without having any kind of rounding of your spine. You'll be able to extend and do it more efficiently. And this comes as a bonus for when you get into deadlifting with heavier weights. Maybe you go to a gym and train and things like that. Now, the banded good morning is a great exercise to superset with squats or lunges, because the squats and the lunges focus on your glutes and your quadriceps, and then the banded good morning focuses on your glutes, your lower back, and your hamstrings. So this will allow you to alternate between both exercises set by set, where you can hit each muscle group efficiently to have a more balanced targeting of your leg muscles. The next gap we're going to fill is an upper body pulling exercise. Okay, so for the purple band, right, this is the less resistant band. Now we're going to fill this gap with banded rows. Okay, banded rows are a little different than the good morning, right? Because we're pulling with our hands, number one, but number two, we're holding the hinging position. Okay, so you're going to hold that position bent over, where you're going to focus on keeping your back straight, chest out. And as you pull, you want to think about leading the movement with your elbows, pulling your elbows towards your hips and retracting your scapula, pushing your chest out. Nice big chest, right? And on each and every move, on each and every rep, you want to focus on retracting the scapula and pulling your elbows towards your hips. Now, the same way you superset the good morning with the squat or the good morning with the lunge is the same way you can superset the banded row with a push-up. Okay? So you put 60 seconds on the clock and you get as many good quality rows as you can. And then you put 60 seconds on the clock, doing as many good quality push-ups as you can. And repeat back and forth. And of course, you do as many sets as you can depending on how well trained you are.